yeah, the flights have all been canceled because this is a requirement that all these Afghans be vaccinated against measles. Oh, and we're also offering the COVID vaccine. Right, one's mandatory and one was not. It was. Oh, I was going to say I do have a kind of a little thing I've observed over the past week that I didn't hear anybody in media talk about. So let me talk about it. I don't know if you're aware, but there's some DHS operation where they're bringing all these Afghans over to this country. Well, half a dozen, I don't know, some in Virginia, some in Wisconsin, some of these Afghans they brought over on these planes were positive for measles. Okay. And they were interviewing. So what the CDC recommended that DHS, Homeland Security, I think that is, do is stop the flights. So the flights have been stopped right now. They're not coming over because of measles. And I was listening to Jen Psaki. You all know who she is, right?
Yeah, President.
Yeah. Yeah, she was being questioned about it, and she said, yeah, the flights have all been canceled because this is a requirement that all these Afghans be vaccinated against measles. Oh, and we're also offering the COVID vaccine. Right, one's mandatory and one was not. It was, and I heard nobody talk about that, but it stuck out to me like a slap in the face. It's like, all right, I see where they're coming from. So and it kind of
makes your head hurt.
Kind of piggybacks onto the southern border. I'm not the kind of person that's going to say the people coming from the southern border who are positive are the cause of the pandemic around here. It's because people. Yes, it's because people are not immune. Either they haven't had the infection or they haven't been vaccinated. That's why it's spreading. But, I saw some guy on Twitter comment on it. I guess the Michigan GOP said, what about the southern border, after Biden came out with his mandate? And he goes, well, that's the Michigan GOP. I expected this to be xenophobic, racist, blah, blah, blah. Why is making a comment like that or asking a serious question about that? Why does that have to be xenophobic and racist? Why isn't that guy on Twitter saying the same thing about the CDC not letting brown people come over on airplanes right now? I mean, am I making a lot of to-do over nothing? I don't know. It's just
no. I think you're bringing up a point that requires at least some introspect into it, because you're absolutely right. Like, they will use that brown people in cages things as a cudgel to stop any type of, like, if they can use that to end the debate, then they will. But when the shoe's on the other foot, they want to ignore that part.
And if COVID has killed 600,000 Americans, which that's up for question, in my view. Why are they not mandating the Afghans have it, but they're very determined to make sure they're vaccinated against measles, which we have a much better coverage of measles vaccine in this country than COVID. But
mandating the migrants, anybody having it. It's like, I don't, why 100 employees? Why isn't it just all? Why is the UPS, why is the post office getting an exemption? I mean, if it's about science, it's about scientists, but we know it's not. We just know it's spiraled into just control and craziness. So,
hey, we're News Talk with Brandon and Bob. We're here to tell you about some of the facts so you don't have to waste your time watching CNN.
We don't want you wasting any time with CNN.
Or Fox or MSNBC or some of these other guys that are making a whole lot of money.
Et cetera, et cetera.
He's not paying.